Hey, everybody. Thank you for being here for another edition of Deborah Kobylt Live. And in studio with me, I have an entrepreneurial woman, one of the first really to start an online magazine, TheEdenMagazine.com. And yes, you're going to be seeing me in TheEdenMagazine.com, and I'm going to be talking about it all over the place once I'm in there. So I'm really excited about that.
We are excited for having you.
Yes, and in talking about that, we were starting to discuss your entire journey into the world of online magazine. How many readers, subscribers do you have to The Eden Magazine?
We have over 1 million readers around the world.
Incredible. 1 million readers. And when did you start The Eden Magazine?
8 years ago.
That's impressive. Okay, and basically, what do you have in the magazine? Like, what do you do? Beauty, and it's also wellness from the inside out, isn't
Well,
it?
the magazine is basically, the best way to describe it is lifestyle conscious living. We cover everything. If you skincare, fashion, celebrity, but all has to be related to the inspirational and spirituality. So one time they asked me, why are you covering the fashion show? Because fashion is an art and art is a healing.
Absolutely. I mean, it's very inspiring. I love going to Fashion Week. Have you ever done that? It's so exciting.
They always invite us. But I have to mention that we don't cover anything that is used by the animal products.
I know that about you. So
Yeah.
Stella McCartney you must be a big fan of her work.
Oh, yes. Yes.
You know, I'm not sure why more designers aren't following suit. It's taken a long time, for example, to get fur off the market, and it's still out there. And when you
But it's slowly happening. I mean, Gucci and Valentino, this year was their last year of having a fur. They're gonna stop, and there are so many. Armani, they are already. It's happening, because like when you think about it nowadays, we don't need actually make those animals grow through horrible.
nor leather products when you think about it. Look at what Stella's doing. I very much support her. I have quite a few products from her, but then when you think about it, let's keep going, right? Even the soles of your shoes are leather, and people say, oh, look, I've got the faux leather shoe, and I'm thinking, well, not on the bottom. So we really have to keep that going. That movement
Exactly.
going.
But then I have to say leather is still not good, but fur. If you look at the video and the graphic, how
Horrifying.
it's just like totally bad.
Even like when, for example, people who eat meat, and I do eat meat, I'm not someone who doesn't, not very often, but if you are a meat eater, at least be humane
Respectful.
about it, and respectful, if you will, in the, I'll say, the killing of these animals, because you don't have to put them in such close quarters
The way
and
they're
be
treating
cruel.
them.
And I know with fur, they'll just club them on the head. And the others that are in line, they know what's happening. They know
Oh,
they're
yeah.
next.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
very cruel.
Yeah.
I'm glad that there's been awareness,
Yeah.
and I'm glad that you highlight
As long
that.
as everything is with a moderation, of course, the fur is totally no.
Nope.
But meat eating, if it's a moderation, if it's with the respect, like look at the Native American.
Right.
They killed buffalo, but that was with the respect.
And look at anywhere in the wild with animals killing animals, they're killing each other to eat. And
Exactly.
I agree with you, as long as it's with respect.
Exactly.
So tell me, you said you started this 8 years ago,
8 years ago.
and you were not born here in the U.S.
No, I'm from Iran.
You're from Iran, and you essentially had to escape, didn't you?
Yeah,
Like
I
so
should
many
say-
people.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I left in a very bad term.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the government. Yeah.
But coming here must have been a bit of a shock, because you landed in a new country.
Well, I went to Italy, and then I lived in Italy for 2 years, and then I went to Germany. I lived in Germany 6 years, and that's where I met my husband. He was in a service. He's American, and then so we got married, and then that's how I ended up in America.
That's a romantic story. I love that. And then you came to California. How long have you been out here?
Well, not at the beginning. I went to New York, and New York, Colorado, because he was military, and
What
we
a
were
journey.
moving.
So you just kept going.
We were moving, yeah. Every 2 years we were moving, and then back to Germany, and then I moved to actually Los Angeles 6 years ago.
So you wanted to do something. I know that. So you thought, what can I do from home, right? And create something that I want to read, that I want other people to read. So how did you get the inspiration to create The Eden Magazine?
Well, I had a magazine before when I lived in Savannah, Georgia. And
Georgia, too. Wow, you've been everywhere.
I've been everywhere. I know. Yeah, I know. And but when I left Georgia, I couldn't even, I mean, long distance. I was a print magazine there, and the long distance was kind of difficult. So when we moved to California, where first we were in Northern California, and then we moved to LA. My mom had Alzheimer, and she was going through really bit. The Alzheimer is not really a good thing to
Very
deal.
difficult as
Very.
a caregiver,
Yeah.
and very difficult for the patient. You know,
Yeah.
they know as they're slipping in and out that
Of
there's
course.
something,
Oh yeah.
and they want to hang on as
There
long
was a
as
moment,
they can.
yeah. So I didn't want to have my mom in the nursing home, so she stayed with us until to the end. And I couldn't work outside because I have to taking care of her basically 24/7. So and I thought about it. I'm like, okay, I cannot just do nothing. So the magazine started. I want to do something to be a bridge between those people who have a message to those who need to hear that message. So that was the born of the Eden magazine. I started this magazine with, I think was 26 pages, 27, and now is 78.
Wow.
So and
What do you, and again, what are some of the topics that are standard that you always have, or some columns that you always have that your readers can always look forward to?
We have I have couple contributed writers. They're excellent. They're from everywhere, and I have from India to America, Canada, Australia. The topics, they write. One is about feng shui, how you can change your life through the feng shui.
And feng shui, generally, that's just a simpler way of living. So when you walk into an environment, you instantly just feel a little peace, right?
Exactly.
The first thing someone told me about feng shui, particularly decorating in feng shui, never have a mirror, as you're entering a room, because you shouldn't be seeing yourself, correct?
Yes.
So whenever I walk into someone's home and I'm thinking they don't really know, I want to take the mirror off the wall and just go running out of there with the mirror.
There are just those details that they talk about it in there, and then it can affect your life.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
that's how it is. And then we have a column about the self-healing. I have actually another column about this lady. She has in Santa Monica. She has a skin care, but she writes about the magazine. Like the last article she wrote is about how we can use a product for beauty and not testing it on animal.
Again, another trend that has been becoming very popular, and now all of the larger companies, such as the Revlons and the Estee Lauders, they are also not participating in animal testing. It's so
Estee
important.
Lauder still does.
It does?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Okay, we got to get with Estee Lauder.
Unfortunately.
You got to write some articles on that. You really do, because there are ways to test and not injure animals, and I'm all about that.
Yeah. We're living in the world of the technology. They have so many ways to do it.
Yes, they do. And you know what I always like to say? It's almost like we're going back to the way things were. Like my grandparents would grow the vegetables outside, and so many people would, they would raise chickens. I'm not suggesting everyone raise chickens and grow their vegetables, but you get my point. From mass consumption, maybe we can, slim it down a little bit and go back a little bit to more community shopping, community growing.
Exactly.
And just being a little more mindful when we use our products, whether it's makeup or handbags.
I like that. The mindful. That is very, very important to know. And it all started within us. When we taking care of ourselves, we respect ourselves, we can respect everything. We're cutting the trees constantly for no reason, and then we're killing animal. We want to fill up our refrigerator for no reason.
Isn't that true? It's so gluttonous. You open the refrigerator, or you even go to the grocery store,
meat.
and it's just continuous, just whatever you want. It's a buffet of anything at any time, and it's just to be mindful.
And in this eating habit, constantly we have to munch something.
That's me.
I think.
I'm trying not to.
Should I continue?
Everyone has their thing, and that's mine. I just don't even think about it. I walk through the kitchen, and there it goes in, and I have to stop doing that.
Well, what are you eating? The point is
anything that's in
as
my
long
way.
as it's a fruit, I guess it's okay.
I was going to say it could be one of those little orange cuties, or my kid could have left out some crackers. Whatever it is, I'm passing through, and I'm saying, Deborah, you can't do that anymore. This is just not being healthy. And then once I think about it, and
we just have to not abuse our body.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
Do you have any articles on men, relationships?
Well, this interesting that you're saying. Actually, I have the one article is going to be published in May, and this writer wrote about the how the love is slowly is not happening. This physical context, physical thing that we have by this Match.com and Harmony.com, all those kind of things, or online dating. What happened to old-fashioned that you go and meet the person and then they have this kind of connection.
Well, at the end of the day, don't we all need love? We are human beings. I don't quite get it because I know enough people who are younger or my age, whatever, and they're always swiping left and right, and I'm thinking, I don't get it. Don't you need the same love that everybody else does?
Well, we say I want to marry with love, but then what happen is, I want my husband or my wife have this. So there is like a shopping list. So there is you don't connect and love the person for who that person is.
So you're telling me we have to teach people how to love again too, and not just go on for a quick date, and a quick hookup.
Not to not look at the material and outside of the person. Oh, I wanted the tall person. I want a skinny person. I want a blonde hair, black hair. This is like a shopping list. You just have to connect. You have to find a way to connect with that person and love that connection. When you find that, then the rest of the love comes back.
But again, going back to your magazine, theedenmagazine.com, that's what you're all about. You're all about connecting from the inside of yourself, your body,
exactly.
And then connecting to the outside, whether it's about your environment, with the food you're putting in there, the products that you're wearing, and the people you're meeting. I love that. I love the entire
And I don't want to
theme.
say that because everybody using this, but basically it is about the oneness, about there is no separation between all living being has to be treated with love and compassion, and there is no separation between
I agree with you. Everyone is talking about it, but it is true. We do have to be mindful about how a tree and cutting down a tree relates to us and our breathing and what we're taking in.
Exactly.
In terms of how it's affecting us. It does all matter and all relate.
Yes.
So again, while it may sound trite and everybody's talking about it, maybe it's because it's so important.
Exactly. Like look at bees. We're talking about the population of bees. Okay, well, bees.
Okay,
There
someone
is a
once
big
told me about that, and without the bees in our world, you tell me.
Well,
very dangerous.
Yeah, because
bees.
they don't disappear for no reason. We have to look in more in depth. Why they disappeared. Are we cutting all the plants that the bees survive? And that is why, because we the pesticizing with this and the pollution. So if those plants, if those sources are dead, well, naturally we're losing bees. And then losing bees is not just with losing bees. What is the consequences of not having bees? So this, and then it goes back to this circle of everything is connected. And if we touch one thing, the circle can be all broken.
So it's interesting. You've got different types of articles, very interesting, from around the world. You've got readers and writers from around the world.
Exactly.
So not just an American perspective, but everyone's perspective, basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I have actually a writer from India. And she's really good, yeah.
Oh,
so she talks about in a totally different culture, different perspective, and it's interesting.
Very good. Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to get you a few more readers and viewers because I just think it's very exciting. I'm looking forward to going. What's your next issue? Who are you having on the cover, if you will, of your next issue?
Should I say that?
Can you? Can you?
Usually we're not saying, but it's Lisa Haisha.
Oh.
She's actually a keynote speaker. She's a spiritual speaker. She is amazing.
Very exciting. So then we'll get to read about her story in there.
Exactly.
And her journey.
She travels around the world, and it's a very interesting story.
Great. I'm so glad you came in.
Thank you so much for having me.
And then we'll have you back when you have me in the magazine. I'm looking forward to that.
Definitely, yeah, I would love to.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Anyway, thank you for being here
Thank you so much, Deborah.
Maryam of theedenmagazine.com. Please go online and check it out. I find it very interesting, inspiring, and just fun. Anyway, thanks everybody for being here for another interesting edition of Deborah Kobylt Live, and we'll see you next time.